back to RollPlay week number 36, going into hour number 3 here. Neal, I assume we all just go to sleep and then they're gonna go bandana shopping.
Yeah, go to sleep. In the morning, Brager and Horace and Abigail go bandana shopping.
Yeah.
Well,
What sort of
I decided to
bandanas?
go bandana shopping, and she's like, "Oh, I was gonna do that too," and I'm like, "Sure you were."
Yeah. I totally was. Okay, I'll say my ID first, and then we'll see if it was yours. Huh? Actually, let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, we already know that I said it first, so that's it. Like, I lay all claim
Yeah.
to bandana
I mean-
originalness.
I want to get the bandana, and I want to poke tiny holes so I can see, but not the whole body of the nymph, so maybe that won't blind me.
Basically, when it goes down in history of who created the fashion trend of the bandana, they're gonna see Horace.
No, I think they're gonna think Abigail.
Anyway, so
We'll see who wears it best, man. We'll see.
I get a sick black one.
A sick
get a
black
pink-
bandana.
Yeah.
I'll get a red one.
You'll get a red bandana.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you buy these things.
I'll get
By
one for
claw?
Vincent.
Actually, Horace, you have no money.
I get. I say I knew there was a reason I brought you along, Abigail.
Oh well, now we know who the trendsetter is.
You can have the name in the record book if you buy me this sick black bandana.
I will buy you the sick black bandana, and I'll get one for Vincent. And I'll get like a light purple one for what's his name again? The dwarf. Dwarf. Yeah.
As you come back to me, I'm standing there, and these sunglasses out of nowhere just slowly come down from the sky and appear on my face. I'm just like, let's go.
Are
And
they
I
like
got
the ones people have after LASIK surgery? The like huge Terminator ones, like
Exactly.
those.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Sick.
So I got the black bandana too for Vincent.
Okay.
Because I thought he'd be that type of guy.
All right, so Horace and Vincent have black bandanas. Azriel gets a, what did you say, a light pink one?
Light purple.
Light purple one, and you have a red one.
So you just come up to me and hand me this piece of cloth that is light purple?
It's for your protection.
I tie it around the end of Crawfort. Like at the bottom of where I would grip it. And then we're
Alright,
good to
so I
go.
inquire about selling the staff as well. You said you'd hook me up with a guy.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, he points you in the direction of a wizard who will buy it from you.
Okay.
Didn't we actually already sell this thing?
No,
Apparently
it was fucking in the inventory, Neil.
Yeah, I think I fucked up the inventory once upon a time, but sure, whatever.
I knock on the door.
Yeah, you go in, you talk to the wizard. We don't have to roleplay everything. He takes a look. I mean, there was a messenger in the night. He knows you're coming from directly from the king. He trusts you, believes you, blah blah blah. He wants to identify the spell, or he wants to,
Yeah.
figure out what's going on with it. He casts a detect magic spell. He's pleased by the result. Says that he would prefer to keep it for a few days and try to identify it properly before buying it from you.
I said, tell you what, friend, I'm going to run an errand, and I'll be back in a few days. Why don't you keep it until then, and when I come back, you can buy it off me if you like.
That
Okay,
sounds
you know what
lovely.
it is?
Would love to do that.
I trust you. The king sent us here, so should be fun.
Yeah,
Do we know what it is?
I'm also inquiring, like, what do you think it is, Mr.
I have
Wizard?
no idea, but it is magical and it is mildly. I mean, it radiates a detection of magic that intrigues me
Okay,
greatly.
Okay.
good enough.
Thank you, friend. And I leave, and then I usher the group in the direction of the guide and the troops that are going to escort us and stuff like that.
Right. So you get a posse together. They each bring you a horse, a smaller horse for Azrael, and
Pony.
not a regiment. I guess a regiment would work. A regiment of 40 troops, 40 soldiers.
Jesus.
Yeah. They are all mounted. So it's not like This is no like pussy expedition. These are hardened warriors that are coming with you.
We're talking plate mail, sword and shield. What are they equipped?
Officers in plate. There are 3 officers, all in plate. The rest of them are mixed between archers and leather, and men in chainmail with various pole arms.
Okay.
Vincent gauging them and kind of like knowing enough about military and having you have a lot of familiarity with this. You would guess that these are all between 3rd and 5th level fighters.
Okay, so pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean it's yeah.
Pretty damn decent. All right.
Mhm.
Do they have an officer, or are they reporting to me, or how does that work?
Yeah, there are 3 officers. One that leads the pack, and then he splits his group into 2 sets of 20, so the archers and the melee fighters, and each of them has an officer in charge. And then there's one that runs it, and then he reports to you.
Okay, I guess then as I approach the posse, I embrace him, and we don't need to roleplay or whatever, but I just, thank you, friend, for joining us. I'm sure you've been brought up to speed on what we're anticipating, yada yada, and these are my friends, and if you do me the honor of also showing them the respect you'd show me.
He nods. He
Okay.
acquiesces, and you guys continue on your way.
Yep.
Okay.
We hit the journey.
So
Right.
as we journey, I'm gonna ask, guys, how do you think we should approach this? Like, should we do rotations of people looking? Should we all go guns blazing, and by that I mean all looking? What do
I
you
think we
guys
should
want to
just
do?
get there first and see what it looks like, and then make a plan from there.
Yeah, then die.
Well, as she brings
What?
up a good point, so I guess we're all kind of right now. There's coconut sounds going together because we're
Yeah.
all walking. I say, Abigail, you bring up a fair point. I think we'll have to handle that when we get there. But my initial idea, and I'd love it if people would give me feedback, is at least someone in the front that can do some blind fighting would probably have to lead us, and I think that's me. Horace, are you trained in the ways of fighting in the blind?
Indeed, I am actually.
Very good, friend. Then perhaps as a tracker and as a man of the woods, it might be you that leads the way.
So, I am trained in blind fighting, but not blind riding. So if we're riding along, I can't. Once I see them, it's too late. Right? It doesn't take but a moment.
As the
from
legend
what I
goes,
gather.
yeah.
So if I'm in the front and then I see them, it's too late to say, "Oh, must put on my bandana." So we need a
Well,
more sound plan.
what do you think of the idea of pursing a tiny piece of the bandana to just see partially the enemy?
Neil, what if you just see like one breast?
Yeah, what if you just see
what
one breast?
happens?
Are you blinded or?
Jen, I want you to take a piece of paper nearby you and poke a hole in it and put it to your head like a bandana and look through it as if it's a tiny hole. And I want you to tell me how much of a person could you see and at what distance?
I'm
And
gonna
on top
do
of
it.
that-
Good, it's trapped.
And on top of that, how well can you actually ride a horse like that? Let's be honest. My point is, if you're trying to like just poke a hole just enough so you can see part of a person, you won't ever be able to find a person. It's like trying to find a star with a telescope if you don't have a way to find it. It'll take you fucking forever. Where's
What
the person?
if-
All I see is like a color, and I can't. Like, this is not a feasible operation.
Neil, you bring up a good point there. What if we do have like a not a periscope, but a fucking scope? What if we look at the nymph through the scope? Are we still charmed?
We wouldn't know.
The sage said nothing about it.
Okay, so Neil, I'm going to type you a question.
Uh-oh.
While he's typing the question, I'm gonna ask Crawford if he has ever encountered a nymph.
Yeah, you remember where he's buried.
We could all at least save one of our eyes by just looking with one eye.
I think if you see him with one eye, half an eye.
Why would both eye get blinded if you just see with one eye, though?
I think blinded is a play on words. I think you just get charmed.
No, he was emphatic, literally blinded.
Okay.
Ha ha! One
I
eye
asked
blindness.
Harbinger, if it can see?
Not in the way that you can see, no.
You can sense that around you, though.
At times.
We seek your final brother, friend, and the trouble before us is that of optical type. I may need your senses to help guide me through the forest. Are you up to the task?
Sorry, were you talking to me? I was typing to Neal.
Absolutely not.
He's talking to Neal.
Our brother, Crawlfort, he is blessed with the ability to find us. He can sense when we are closer than... He has a better method of detection than I do. He can sense us with miles around and then can guide us that way more easily.
Surely he will be key in finding your brother, but I mean even as simple as walking around. We are facing nymphs, and to look upon them is to charm and even blind our very eyes, so we're looking for ways to get around that.
I cannot help you find an enemy in front of you.
Okay. Fair enough, friend. So we keep on walking, or riding then, I guess.
I did ask Crawlford if he's ever encountered a nymph before. You never answered, Neal.
I have not.
Okay.
Hold on, I figure out Ryan's question. Okay. Well, actually, continue interpersonal conversation. I need to think for a moment.
Well, I mean, we're just
Alright.
riding there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try. Are we like super close to the rest of the people following us, or can we talk between us at any point?
What do you mean?
I would assume
Just
we're
the
not,
party.
assume we're like riding horses, so if you want to talk to us, they're not going to hear us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're around you, but if you like turn and have a conversation, you can turn and have a conversation. They work for you.
Okay. Okay, so I'll say, what if we just make them look and lead us with the horses, and us we just don't look, and we say we'll defend you. Just holla at us.
Who do you say this to?
You guys.
You say it one more time, what did you say?
We don't look. They guide us through the forest. If they find a nymph, then we
You're just like
blind
riding a
fight.
horse, you look over at me, you're like, what if we just told the soldiers to stare into the nymphs? Is that what you say?
No, we can do a rotation. Like 5 of them watch, and then the next 5, and then we can tell them to watch with one eye.
I say Abigail does have a good point. It is not... The king gave us these men to use, not to look after. We could definitely have them go in and
The
see
two of
what
you
occurs.
are kind of creeping me out. We'll definitely use these men, but we're not to walk them into danger just because.
Here is another possible solution. I send Shay on ahead, and it wouldn't report back to me specifically if there was a nymph, but if there was any kind of danger, we would know if it was up ahead, so we would know at least when we were getting close.
Yeah, it's a start.
Close to a enemy or a creature?
Any type of danger.
Okay.
I don't know if it might not specifically be the nymph, but if we encounter anything, it would let us know that we are approaching.
Well, you
But
should
that's
just,
still
you should just
wouldn't
have that
solve the-
autocast, like all the time.
And that way
Yeah.
we can navigate the majority of our journey, assuming there's just not nymphs everywhere. And when danger does arise, we'll shield ourselves.
Right. Well, I'm guessing that the nymphs won't have the same effect on
No,
a bird as it would a human.
unless your bird is the most heterosexual thing ever to have been born
Yeah, he's
in
pretty
the wild.
fucking manly, but at the same time, I think he's gonna be all right.
His
Well, with a
name's
name
Shay,
like
man.
Shay, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pass judgment here, Horace,
He's really manly.
but
I take that back.
yeah.
Is your
Sounds
bird
like a
actually
sound
named
plan,
Shay?
man.
Yes. I typed it to you on Skype that day.
Yeah, but that day was
Also,
like a
he has
year ago.
Butterfly bracelet, remember that?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was the same day I got my butterfly tattoo. Not bracelet. Tattoo.
Not
on my
bracelet,
foot.
tattoo, right, my bad.
Yeah.
All right, so, Neal, I guess we make our way to Larvin. That seems to be the...
Yeah, we'll just head
Marvin.
straight north.
Is there anything going on while we do that? We're passing through these towns and whatnot.
No, you guys get to Molten after one day. The next day, you get halfway between Pond and Larvin, and the captain that's with you says, let's just suggests actually to you that you just keep going through Larvin because you can get beyond it before the end of the day. And who the fuck cares about the city? You have like people and you've got tents and shit that set up
Sure.
camp for you. So fuck the town, he says.
I say
In more proper language.
grand idea. Have you set foot in the forest before? Are you the one to guide us? Asking the captain this.
I am not, but our man here, and he points to one of the guys in
Whose
one
name
of
is
the normal troops, knows the area very well. He was raised in Foggy Bottom.
Yeah, that is the name of the place. All right, so then we take his advice and get past Larvin. Yada yada yada.
Yada yada yada. So it's a total of 4 days from Altheris to the edge of the Blackbark Forest, and you get to the edge of the Blackbark Forest. Not at evening, but getting close towards evening. Like the sun is starting to set a little bit into the forest. That kind of makes it a little bit dark.
So we're at like what, +6 since we came out of the first mountains HP wise.
This is another +4 off of what you were beforehand. So
I'm at
Asriel
15.
is at 15.
Yeah.
And Horus is at 24. No, 23. Because I can do math. Good boy. Okay.
As soon as we get to the forest area, I'm gonna put my bandana like here, and I'm gonna start staring just as my horse as we ride. I
Wait, you
never
put it,
look
like down to here?
like really low on my eyes, and I just
And
stare
then-
at the horse, and I just ride and look at the horse. I never look anywhere else.
Okay.
No perception from Jen, Abigail.
Okay.
I asked
So,
Crawl Forward
You
if
kind of
he's-
have to look a little beyond the horse to know where you're going.
Oh.
Yeah, but like just in front.
Okay, got it.
I'm asking Crawl Forward if he senses whirlwind yet.
7 miles. I heard what the king said, what the sage said, but I have not sensed whirlwind here.
Okay.
My sensor, I can only feel it within a few miles.
As we get to the edge of the forest, I remind the officer to keep his men, however he wants to, but to keep their eyes low. And then I look at Horus and say, "Deploy your bird, Shay, and let's get on with this."
And we'll wait for Ryan to respond as soon as he figures out how to join a Skype call. It should be soon.
Oh. No. No.
Come on, Ryan. Click join call.
I am deploying my bird, Shay. It is safely on my wrist, and now it's in the air. And it shall beat its wings into the forest.
It looks like they're just trying to call.
Yeah, I don't. You guys call me when I'm already calling you, so I don't understand
I didn't though. I literally hit the button that said
how
join
that
call
works.
video.
He's calling on them.
Okay, I don't know what happened right
I don't
there.
either.
The important thing is that you're back.
That's true.
I'm back, yeah.
Deploy the Shay.
I deployed the Shay.
Shay has been deployed
Excellent.
and
Six,
starts
fifty.
flying around. Well, actually, I think Shay's always flying around. I think Shay is in a constant state of deployment.
Then he waves at it and gives it the look that says, "Go into the forest and look for beautiful women."
Yes.
And it knows that look.
It's a look it was taught from a very young age.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's how I usually pick up women. Before I met you.
Literally have the bird fly down and grab them.
You show him. I'm not gonna go there. Never mind. Make a really bad joke.
All right, Neil,
Anyway.
so it does that, and I guess we kind of wait for it to come back to communicate with Horus.
Okay. An hour later, after you guys are all kind of waiting, taking a bit of a break, Shay kind of circles back and comes and lands down on your hawking arm.
Okay. And I interpret this to mean that there's danger ahead?
No, the bird looks pretty chill.
Okay.
Seems to be no visible danger nearby.
Does it just need to rest?
No, that's just how it communicates with you.
Okay.
If there's danger, it comes back and it's like, rah, rah, rah. If there's no danger, it just chills.
How
Alright,
are
so
we
I'll-
Oh, sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
I'll just chill with it for, a couple minutes and send it back out.
Okay.
Are we right on the forest edge?
I start leading the band in, and I'm going to be at the head of it. I'm going to keep my eyes very low, Neil. Like low onto the ground, but not like, I'm not somehow walking a horse closed or anything like that, but I'm just looking at the ground in front of me.
Right.
And I pull up Azrael next to me and say, I need you to be in contact with Crawford and let us know if he senses anything.
Already done. I'm walking right with you.
Okay. So you guys are entering the forest. The captain in charge says, well, I've been told that a nymph is dangerous in its beauty, that it could blind some of my men.
That's true, friend. Keep your eyes low.
Okay. Do you have any method of detection or preventing my troops from being... I do not know how to fight a danger I cannot see.
I am trained in the ways of blind fighting, so I feel support work would be all that I need, but these are neutral creatures. They do not necessarily pose a serious evil threat immediately, so I look to actually hopefully talk them down from their charge, and there should be no need for battle here, save for anything other than a nymph, but if it does come to battle, your ideas are as good as mine, friend. Just make sure that they know not to look upon them, for they are at least 6, maybe 7 Abigails combined in terms of their beauty.
I say very confidently that there's no worry. There's no reason to worry here. These things do not look to harm us at all. And I guess I'm like ahead of the pack as much as I can be without being outside of the pack, walking forward with eyes wide open, while also speaking to Crawford about the see if he senses anything, just like a clear channel.
Okay.
And then we proceed this way.
One sec. Nope. Almost. Okay. Sorry, I had to check something real quick. So you start approaching, you start walking through the forest. It's late afternoon, and the black bark forest is named for the trees that grow here, which conveniently enough have black bark. They are fairly tall and fairly thick and grow close to one another. So it's just a very dense forest. And as you come in, there's a clear divider between black bark forest and just the general forest around you. And as you're entering, it just gets really dark because the sun's already getting close to setting, and then the trees just block out a lot of light. So there's enough that you can navigate by, but it's that sort of awkward, not quite night, not quite day.
Yeah.
Point.
Before we go any further, I turn to the party, and I guess I turn towards Vincent and say, you should tell the troops to be mindful of where they step and what harm they do to nature and do to the forest. If it is to be true what the sage said, that these nymphs care
Good advice,
a lot
sir.
about nature, so we should not harm anything that they would deem to be
I turn
a friend.
back and yell, men, single file as best we can, and be mindful of the woods around you. Show it the utmost respect. We are in someone else's temple now.
Okay.
So we move like sand people, Neil.
Got it.
Yep.
So you search through the forest, and you can only go a few hours before it gets dark enough that you actually have to crash out. And you're all attempting to not really know where you're going. So going is kind of slow, but nonetheless,